DOGE and Elon Musk have just exposed a decades-old underground mine. You're looking at it. It's in Boyers, Pennsylvania, and seemingly it's in the middle of nowhere. But it's where the United States federal government stores and processes retirement applications.
Elon Musk currently digging in to government inefficiency, and he's literally doing it underground. The converted limestone mine that is in DOGE's crosshairs is very much real.
DOGE and Elon Musk have just exposed a decades-old underground mine. You're looking at it. It's in Boyers, Pennsylvania, and seemingly it's in the middle of nowhere. But it's where the United States federal government stores and processes retirement applications. Here's how Elon Musk described it.
There's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down sometimes, and then nobody can retire. Doesn't that sound crazy? There's like 1,000 people that work on this.
Wow. Now, a group of anonymous employees told the Butler Eagle from the Office of Personnel Management that they don't have an elevator, but nonetheless, look at these pictures. This is stunning. All of the paperwork stored right here. It looks like a time warp. And you can see inside this facility, these massive columns of limestone that's holding it all up. Millions of paper files are stored right here. And according to DOGE, every month, the facility takes about 10,000 applications for retirements and then sorts through them entirely by hand. Now, it's unbelievable that the government of the world's foremost superpower processes retirement applications 230 feet underground. But here's what WAPO found. They said this, held up by all that paperwork in the mine, runs as slowly now as it did in 1977. During the past 30 years, administrations have spent more than $100 million trying to automate the old-fashioned process in the mine and make it run at the speed of computers. They could not.
Two things hit me. There is probably a sea of litigants out there who have been waiting for their retirements to be processed. They're hand counting 10,000 a year, and for 1 year we looked at the number that they did was a little bit more than 7,000. I mean, not only is it inefficient, it's cruel. Yeah. Like, if you're waiting to retire and you need that process after you spent your whole life doing something for the federal government, and they're so inefficient that they can't even thank you properly. And if you think thank you shouldn't come with money, I don't know what planet you live on. The other thing why are they quibbling over whether or not it's an elevator or a lift pulley system? That's the only thing that comes up? Yeah. Like, I want to quibble over how we move the paperwork. No, I want to quibble over why it's in the basement. Like, at least it's limestone, and that can pull out a little bit of the humidity. But is that why it's in the basement? 1,000 people? And are they on the list of retirement? Because then you got double jeopardy. I think there are going to be some people who come out of the woodwork and say, I've been waiting for my retirement to be processed, and now I know why it hasn't been.
The issue is not the cave. The issue is not the situs. It's the antiquated system. And when they say we've spent $100 million trying to automate it, but they couldn't, well, it wasn't lack of funding. It's the lack of ingenuity, and it's the lack of leadership saying this will be executed. When we think about our medical records, those have all been digitized. We know now, I'm sure, with all of our healthcare, like you have to log on to a portal now. Law firms, the same. Why not the federal government? When I think about the security of this facility, the use of the caves, the protection of data privacy, well, I laugh at the fact that my information among the 92 million Americans whose information was breached during the OPM hack of the government. The point is that this type of mountain is not needed because A, we get breached anyway, or at least we did under the prior administration.
That's right.
And B, that this isn't the kind of paperwork that the CIA needs to preserve. This is exactly what should be automated. To your point, the outrageous shrieks about this should be about what was uncovered. It should not be about the messenger, and it should not be about the attempts to change it, because at the end of the day, if we want that security of our federal workforce, the safety of our brave warfighters in uniform, then we have to get with the times.
Elon Musk currently digging in to government inefficiency, and he's literally doing it underground. The converted limestone mine that is in DOGE's crosshairs is very much real. And in a press conference in the Oval Office on Tuesday, Elon Musk, the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, said the U.S. government stores and processes all retirement paperwork in a converted limestone mine. Of course, federal employees' retirements processed using paper by hand in an old limestone mine in Pennsylvania. 700 plus mine workers operate 230 feet underground to process roughly 10,000 applications per month, which are stored in manila envelopes and cardboard boxes. What's exactly going on inside of this converted limestone mine?
Well, people are still working here, and as the Trump administration tries to shrink the federal workforce, processing federal employee retirement applications is going to be crucial in doing that. And this is where the bulk of that work is done, at a converted limestone mine in western Pennsylvania. Take a look at this video from our Fox News flight team. You can see the entrance to the mine here. There's armed checkpoints, metal detectors, and biometric access markers. Meanwhile, 220 feet underground, take a look at the working environment. This video is from Iron Mountain, the company the U.S. government leases the space from. Workers go through each application by hand after receiving documents from whatever federal agency a worker is retiring from, so they can get their full pension. The Office of Personnel Management says it processed 7,381 claims per month last year. The agency tells Fox News, quote, OPM is evaluating methods to enhance the efficiency of retirement application processing. The agency received $18 million just 2 months ago to modernize the process, but they haven't responded to our request asking how that money is being spent. So people at home are probably wondering why we're still doing it this way in 2025. And the answer is, since the 1980s, the U.S. has invested more than $100 million to try to modernize this system. And they've failed every time because essentially it is too complex. And then during the Obama administration, they doubled down and hired more workers to continue doing it the old way, but at a faster pace. So here we are, Musk really exposed to millions of Americans how this all works, and now the Trump administration is promising to make changes.